Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sit Down, Shut Up. How you guys doing today? My headband is still on. Whatever. Hope you guys doing well tonight, or today. I guess it is Sunday. So today we got Obi-Wan. Let's bring him on. Hey, Jack. What's good, buddy? Hey, Obi-Wan. How's it going, man?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good, good. So thanks for moving to 12:30. I was caught up otherwise, so
Yeah, no,
appreciate a
that
little bit of
was
time.
good for me. I was in the middle of replacing 11 boards on my deck
Oh,
in 90-degree weather, so I appreciated an extra half an hour.
gotcha, gotcha. I'll go good. So, all right. So welcome on. So tell me about what's going on. So you're playing Bison now, right? I mean, you picked up Bison rather as like a.
Yeah, so he's like a secondary, and I really like him. Um, you know, he's kind of a different character from DJ,
Okay.
obviously, but kind of where I'm at is I've kind of been hovering in like 1300s, low 1400s
Mm-hmm.
MR,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I do like equally as well versus players at that level versus like kind of like mid-range, even like I want to set against a 2000 MR Chun-Li.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so like I'm trying to figure out like there's certain things that I have trouble that often get me. One is people who are just like jumping all over the place,
Yeah.
kind of randomly. And so to me, that's like trying to focus on my discipline with the spacing. And then when they're neutral jumping, kind of close-ish to me,
Mm-hmm.
you can either scissors them when they land, or you can even anti-air them with Psycho Crusher.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is, which I think came in more with this Ryu, it's just when they're just doing dumb stuff in my face. Not dumb, but like just like running through the pressure. And because he doesn't have a DP, he does have D-Rev, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and parry, but um, finding ways to get out of those situations without, you know, you can either sit there and block and let people run over you and like chip your drive, or you can try and get out of it more aggressively, or just see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so those are kind of the things. I also just tend to like not chill as much as I should and
Okay.
just like wait.
Okay.
um so anyway,
Okay.
I
Okay.
saw you sent an invitation. Let me find the room.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and join up. Okay. So I think it's pretty common, especially for a character like Bison, right? Doesn't have the DP, doesn't have a reversal in that manner, right? The same way that DJ or Shoto would, right? So your anti-airs are going to rely more on either having charge for Psycho Crusher, which can be good, right? Or you have to try to do the jump back target combo, right? Or the crouching heavy punch, right? So like those options are kind of more consistent, right? For Bison anti-airing. And then yeah, when in pressure situations, right, you need meter in order to reversal, right? So you can either, like you said, hold the pressure and wait for it to end, or you can try to do something, but you're kind of limited to like D-Rev or spending super, right, which can be kind of tough.
Mhm.
So let's take a look at what's going on. So you're probably familiar with the format at this point, so we'll do just run a first to three, kind of get a sense of what might be, some kind of stuff that we can kind of pinpoint and say, well, maybe we can make adjustments here. After that, we'll do replay review, take a look at one of our games. We'll take a look at one of the games that you sent me, do some lab work if there's situations that I think make sense to lab, and then if there's time, we can run it back and then go from there, right? So,
Okay.
sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Let's go ahead and queue up. So like last time, I'm going to deafen so that I don't impact anything you're doing, and I may not rematch right away as I continue to talk through what I'm seeing. So good luck.
Okay, cool. All right, you too.
All right. So Obi-Wan last time I think was running DJ. Now they're running Bison. Bison's a good character. I've actually been leveling him up myself. I don't quite have the same level that I think that Obi-Wan's gonna have here because they're good with Bison, right? I think they have a master. So let's see what's going on. Okay. Alright, so plus frames to the throw is good. Gonna throw loop me, probably. Alright, so there's that whole, like, I have to hold pressure. Alright, reversal again. Alright, so Bison does get the mix-up after that. I probably should have cashed out from that situation. But yeah, so Bisons will go into that overhead a lot. And I just kind of challenge, right? So, cut walking. Oh, what a whiff punish. That's gonna hurt. Okay, so that D-Rev might have been a little tough. We'll see if it works out for him with the burnout. Okay, so the burnout there, I think, was kind of the reason why they were stuck in that situation. They would have had to spend super to get out of that. So I think that if they had decided to just go for the defensive option there, reversal, it would not have been a bad idea, I think, because you probably would have beaten me taking the round. But it's difficult to make the decision, right? So, like with Bison especially, I think on defense, you really can't be indecisive. You have to, like, make a decision, try to get back into it, right? Because Bison's defense is not great. Alright, goes for parry there. Alright, so what happened there, I think, was that they tried to challenge after the anti-air, right, the crosscut. So as I was walking up, they tried to press, and I was able to counter hit them out of that. And that was just a whiff on his part. Did you safe jump? Oh, I thought that was a hit. Okay, went for reversal there, right? Again, you have to make that educated guess. It's difficult with Bison once you kind get hit a couple times in the corner. Like, if you're not able to get bomb planted and offense going with Bison, it's very difficult to win. Okay, here we go, bomb plant. Okay, plus frames. Oh, tried to back up shimmy, I think. Oh, that was a good guess on my part. I thought it was going to cross me up. Lucky. Good challenge. Try to bait me into something there with a drive rush, right? Oh, nice reversal. See, that's what I mean, right? You have to be decisive a little bit earlier in those situations. Oh, good slide. Oh, no! Okay. Screwed up my routing, but that's okay. So I'm seeing, so far, like, I don't mind the neutral game that they're playing, right? I think that they just need to... Oh, that was good. Go for more, like, fishing with that crouching medium punch. And maybe whiff that crouching medium kick a little bit less. Oh. Yeah. And then I think the reversal timing ends up being what it is, and they get kind of caught out for it. So let's bring it back on. Hey, buddy, what do you think?
What do I think? That's a broad question.
Well, I mean, in general, what were your kind of feelings towards that set? Do you think it was more of kind of similar to what you run into?
Yeah, there were there were definitely like a couple of moments I wanted back, but I feel like I was basically on my heels most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did get on offense, I wasn't getting. I think there was one round where I got a bomb and I went for like the overhead into light bomb to
Yeah,
reset it, but I was too far from the corner and didn't realize it.
yeah. There was
Um,
another one where I just challenged, right? So I saw you go for the overhead on plus frames, and I just challenged with a jab, right? And it kind of caught you out. So
yeah, that was after the medium punch. So if that happened again, I was going to get you.
mhm.
But with there's other things you can do there. But um, anyway, yeah, it just felt like I wasn't. You had a handle on whatever I was trying to do on offense for the
Mhm.
most part.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Yeah, yeah, and I think that's kind of what it is. Was that with Bison especially, you kind of have to have the plus frame situation, right? So plus frames after drive rush, back heavy kick, right, or plus frames from bomb plant, right? So bomb plant into a bunch of buttons and then ending in like Psycho Crusher or some other bomb detonation, right? So I'm streaming in Discord. Hopefully you can see it. Just let me know. And
oh
take a
yeah,
look
let
at
me
this
get in
game.
there.
Yeah. So the way I was kind of beating you though was that I was just kind of able to walk up and press buttons for the most part. So I was able to land hits off of like situations where you kind of did something and then you backed off and then I just kind of pressed the button, right? So let's take a look at the
Yeah.
replay and see if there's any specific situations that kind of come up that show what I'm talking about. Hopefully there will be. Let me know you can
Okay.
see my screen.
I can, yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's take a look. I think this is game one. So let's take a look. So this is good, right? The good, nothing like a good old fashioned opening Devil's Rise, right? Catch out the fireball.
Yeah.
All right, so good here, right? So you went for a meaty throw, makes sense, right? I decided to take the throw because that also makes sense from a defensive standpoint. So makes sense, right? So far, right? So this type of situation here is what you want with Bison, right? This is kind of how he lives and what he lives and breathes, right? Is this kind of pressure that is plus in your face, and I have to just deal with it, right? So I missed the perfect parry here. You're still +5, so you can kind of press whatever you want here, right? So in this case, you go for the throw, which makes sense, right? I am committed fully to just blocking here, and I don't tech at all, right? So you go for the throw, totally fine. In that +5 situation, you can go for more buttons here, but throw makes sense, right? I've taken a throw earlier, so now this is a strong position for you, right? So throw loops,
Yeah.
right? I have to make a defensive decision, so I take the throw one more time here, I think. Like I actually try to jab you, delay jab at
Yeah.
you.
So that I think I probably stopped short next time
Mm-hmm.
because if I didn't know you, I would throw loop you until I knew how you dealt with it.
Right.
The fact that I saw counter hit, that's usually the clue that they're about to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I thought you might DP next. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, that's where I was at. I forget what happened though.
I think I end up teching the next throw. But when you see a counter hit like this, though, right, it suggests to you that I am pressing something. I think you're right. Is that I'm trying to do something, or
Yeah,
I
well,
did try to
yeah,
start, right? So
it had to be you pressed a wake up button.
yeah, yeah, or a
Um,
delay button, right, something like that. Because if it was a delay tech, you would tech, right? So,
mhm.
so that kind of makes sense, right? So then here I just tech, right? So okay, I'm just gonna delay tech. If you had shimmied me here, right, I take probably 3,000 damage into heavy bomb plant. Not great, and then I have to take a mix, right? So this is a big risk on my part to get out of this pressure. But once this
Yeah,
happens, now we're back to neutral, right? So let's see what happens. Okay, so spaced out scissor kicks, good. Okay, good poke. So another spaced out scissor kicks, can't punish this.
and that's what I was talking about. I'm not chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there wasn't anything I was like, oh, I saw something that I can do this to. It was just like he might press a button here and this will beat it,
Mm-hmm.
but then I'm -3 or whatever. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
and it kind of wastes meter.
yeah, it's like a hard call out, right? And had I done something, it would have worked. Was it correct? Like I say, I don't like to say things are right or wrong, just varying degrees of correct, right? So if I had done something like a fireball or whatever, that would have worked, right? But I think where you actually get caught out is this right here. So if we take a look at what actually
Oh,
happened,
I was walking backward the whole set.
yeah,
You definitely got me a few times.
let's see. Right, so right here, right. So after your -3 here, right? I take my turn
Oh,
back. Is it good?
did I do a?
Yeah, it looks like you pressed something. He tried to,
Yeah, it was kind of like a delay jab or
yeah,
something.
delay jab after my jab here, right? So
Yeah.
when I do my string here, right, this crouching light punch and a crouching medium punch, right, this is gonna catch a delay button from you, right? So I'm
Mhm.
testing to see if you're trying to get me to do something else after that -3 situation, right? So are
Yeah.
you going to try to do something, you know, a delay tech, whatever, right? Because if you had mashed against this, mashed a four frame, you beat this, right? But
Right. Yeah.
I'm guessing you're going to do a delay timing, right? So that's why I do this gap here. So you get hit, right? All right, so now we're -3 situation, right? And then I just jump over you, right? And this kind of
Yeah.
ends your corner pressure, right? So that situation you were talking about, how like how do I deal with this cross up stuff? I think for Bison in particular, it's like jump back, right? You have to jump back, jump medium punch, I think is what it is. Let me see.
Yeah. Medium punch to the target combo. You could just do jab to if you want it faster.
But it's typically a jump back, right? Like you have to do that. You don't have a crosscut DP, and like I don't know if autocorrect psycho crushers are a thing, but
They are, but it's like very very situational, and it's not against normal jumps like this because it has such a slow startup.
yeah, it's mad
So it's
awkward,
not
right?
like
So
yeah, it's not like Honda, but like there's like I've done it like twice in matches. Once was against like a hooligan
okay.
that like crossed me up, where it's like kind of hanging out there. But anyway,
Yeah, so that's something I think like mental stack wise you're gonna have to try to add to what you're doing, right? So why does this jump work? And mostly it works because I'm at a range where I can jump over you, right? So we're too close, and I'm kind of incentivized to jump against Bison from here, right? So
hmm
like the only way I think you can kind of beat this is if you jump backwards. So what's reasonable to react to the jump, right? So if you pressed here, so this means you can't jump anymore, right? Or you can still block, but you can't really anti-air me, right? So if we
yeah,
take this situation here, after I'm hit, right? Let's see if we can come up with something that makes sense, right? So I know you're gonna jump, so right, something like that could work, right? So it sucks because you have to be ready, right? And you tried to challenge with a
yeah,
jab and it whiffs, right? But let's think about this from like a space standpoint, right? After the Jin right hits you, you are minus. So pressing your button there may not make sense to begin with, right? You're -3. The second thing
well,
is that, yeah, good.
I feel like in that range, Ken is just like so much stronger than Bison. Like,
Yeah, I think so. Well,
and it might also make sense to just jump back right now before you jump and just like reset,
it
because
could, it could.
you're not really cornered like anymore. You're towards the corner, but so I give up some screen position, but then like just try again.
Yeah,
Not in that crouch medium kick range,
yeah.
basically.
Basically, try to back out of Ken pressure, right? Because you got hit, right? Like this is I counter hit you with the crouch medium punch, and this is basically me hitting you with the follow up, right? The Jinrai follow up.
hmm
So you are minus after this though, right? So now we're back in neutral here, right? Like right here. This is neutral now, right? So from here, there's not a lot of incentive for you to kind of press, right? Even if you didn't quite know and you're like, oh, minus, and you didn't know that I didn't do anything right away. Like, if you think about this situation right here, right? If you had pressed something right here, whatever button I press would probably catch that out, right? So if I press like a stand
hmm
light kick or a crouching medium kick, right? Because you're -3. If you try to jab me, or jab will probably trade with a crouching medium kick, but if you try to do something a little bit longer range, like a crouching medium punch or something that would actually reach, because Bison's jab is going to whiff, right? You should know that that's going to be the case, right? From here, is that if you press
Yeah.
right away, it's going to whiff. So you have to press something a little bit further to try to hit me, right? So from my perspective here, I don't want to be in the corner anymore, right? So I make the risk of jumping, right? So it's something where I think you don't have to be super active every time you get hit, right? You don't have to be the one pressing your advantage in minus situations like this, right? Like if I think that in situations like this, if you had waited a little bit, right, maybe a beat, if you will, 10, 15 frames or whatever, I think you would have had the wherewithal to anti-air me with a jump, right?
hmm
Or walk under and walk under crouching heavy punch, right? So if we take a look at what happens here, right? So if I do nothing and react to a jump at a reasonable amount, right? Maybe I whiff that button there. I can also do this, right? Right, something like
Yeah.
that, right? Because of the range we're at, right? So you know it's cross-up range. So you could do something where you walk under and press the crouching heavy punch, right? Especially against a character like Ken that can't change his jump arc, right? That might change a little bit if you're playing someone like Kim, right? Or someone with a dive kick where that can change.
Hmm.
But if the opponent can't change their jump arc and they have to commit to that, then walk under crouching heavy punch is the thing you could potentially add, right, to your stack to be like, oh, I could just do that
Hmm.
instead, right? Because again, if you wait, like if we go back to this and I press my button, right, in that case it hits me, right? But if I press when you press it, right, I'm able to block, but I won't be able to anti-air, right? Versus just waiting a little bit, right? And then anti-airing me that way, right? That could also be
Right.
a way to do it, right? And again, works great with characters that can't change jump arcs, right? Against a Kim, it's a little bit of liability, right? You're gonna walk under and get hit by an elbow or something, but you know
Hmm.
that's what that character gets to have or whatever, or like a Cammy, right? They can dive kick you, but that is something you can consider because you have to block that direction anyway, right? If they're crossing up and they are in cross up range, right? So part of the anti-air sort of thing for Bison here is to just make sure that when you are at certain ranges, your mental stack is thinking about anti-airing in that way, right? Because you don't have a DP to bail you out, right? The same way like a Ken would, where if I'm just doing whatever I want, and then if you go for a jump, I'll just mash GP and hope it comes out, right? And then catch you out with that, right? Bison doesn't have that
Yeah.
luxury the same way, right? So because of that, you have to consider these other options in spacings that make sense to do so, right? So but yeah, I think the main thing to take away though is that from this situation right here, this space, that jab wouldn't have reached in the first place, right? The only
Hmm.
way it would reach is if I walked forward, which I you know, is if you thought I was gonna do that, I guess that makes sense. But I think that if you were gonna challenge a walk up, a medium would have made more sense there, given the range, right? Because the button whiffs, right? So just something to consider when you're talking about neutral situations, especially with Bison, right? You want to make sure that you are at an appropriate space for the buttons, right? And it goes for every character, I think, but Bison especially because he gets a lot of reward if you space well, right? And I think we see one of those situations here, but we'll see. Okay, so you take the pressure there, and just take the throw. Just remember that if you back roll here against Ken's forward throw, it makes his throw
Yeah.
loop a one frame link, right? So just Ken
Yeah.
specific, right? Unfortunately, your D-Rev gets baited, right? So I dash up jab. Since the jab is +1, my recovery is done before the D-Rev happens, right? So
Hmm.
get punished for that. Unfortunately, I think he tried to jump against my jump and it gets hit. Right, so stuff like that, right? That was really good. The crouching media punch into scissors here, right? This is pretty good. And then you get a mix-up, right? +2. Back throw. Perfect. Right? This is exactly what you want, right? You defended the situation well. You managed to get a counter hit on my walk up as I was trying to press a button. You get the combo into a plus frame situation, and then you're able to get a throw out of the mix up, right? So it's like, this is textbook, I think. This is exactly what you want to be doing. Right? And then there it is, right there.
And yeah,
The
that's there.
challenge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got too greedy.
Yeah. So that is something I do a lot, and I tell people this all the time, is that I probably press buttons way more than most people at my level do, right? Like I challenge
Hmm.
in a lot of situations where it probably doesn't make sense to challenge, but a lot of times it works out because I think that people are too used to their pressure being respected, right? So like that reset there would have killed me, right? If you had hit me, I think you can cancel that into something, right? If I'm not mistaken, but
You get a counter hit, and then you get a yeah, yeah. You get a follow up.
yeah, it gives a follow up, right? Or you can, I think you can get like a level 1 from here too. I don't actually remember all of Bison's routing, but from right here, right? Right. Right, there's a larger gap there. I'm able to kind of jab it, right? But if this
Yeah.
works for you, right? If this works and you hit me, like I'm dead, right? Consequently, also you should have been dead here, right? I should have actually did a full cash out with my lights, right? Light buttons,
Hmm.
full cash out, level 1 potentially, depending on how much damage it did, right? I even said on stream, I was like, man, I could have killed him. I should have cashed out, but instead you have to take one more mix up. You decide to take the throw here, and die for it, right? So I think that delay teching in that scenario probably makes sense to do because you're dead to throw, right? So you can consider delay teching maybe being a little more of an option to pick in that scenario, right? Just because you can't
Yeah.
take a throw anymore. So what I will say is that I think that most of this round was actually fought pretty well, right? There was a couple situations where I was able to get out of pressure, and then you're able to get back into pressure, right? By interrupting me in the corner, getting a side switch. But I think ultimately there were a couple of some of the wake ups you did, right? At least one of them resulted in a punish, and then the your kind of fake string, if you will, reset type thing, getting hit by jab, right? So, but
Hmm.
otherwise, I think like if we look at the overall game, right, I'll let this play out, right? Land a hit here, throw in a plus frames, right? Throw again, delay tech, right? Like so far, this is all good, right? You're able to keep me in the corner, and then that counter hit there opens you up. Right, I'm able to jump out, and then here you take some damage, right? Right, and then you're able to interrupt me, and this is perfect, right? Good stuff right here. And then the greedy button here ends up kind of getting you, right? And then you take one more throw here, right? So again, I think the round was actually pretty well fought. This is really close. I made a decision to jab you in that scenario there, and it worked out for me, right? But if I didn't jab and got hit by the overhead, I'm probably dead, right? Or pretty close to it. So, but the crouching medium punch fish for like OD scissors or whatever, like that's a hugely rewarding route for Bison, right? You spend 2 bars, you get heavy bomb plant, right? You get some of that back, right? Because it's not a driver's cancel.
Yeah.
So a lot of that is dictated by your ability to stand at a spacing that makes sense to press it, right? So you want to stand
Yeah.
just outside of the range, right? Get the whiff
I don't.
punish. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's this round because I do that a ton. Um, and I remember I got you once with it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then the next time I did it, you like stayed spaced out and punished it with something.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was
I think I whiff punished the crouching medium punch or something, right? Something like that. So,
yeah, but I don't
because
think that
yeah,
was this
may not have
this
been this
game.
game, but that's kind of the rotation of options, right? So if I recognize that you are fishing for that button, then I'm gonna try to induce you to press it, right? So whether that be
Hmm.
with movement, button pressing, right, like pressing a light to try to feint you, like that type of thing, because once you press and commit to that, I can try to whiff punish that by standing at the right spacing and trying to interrupt your rhythm, right? So it's a very strong tool. Don't get me wrong. Like if someone is just pressing mindlessly, you can whiff punish with that and basically win the game just doing that over and over again, right? But once your opponent adjusts to seeing that, then you have to kind of change what you do on offense, right? And we can talk about that. Let's see if I make that adjustment here. Right. So classic, right? I'm trying to back up out of the pressure after something happens.
Yeah, I
Right.
was trying to make you tech or something there,
Yeah. Went for
and didn't.
didn't quite work out. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So what I will say here is that a big reason why I'm not teching is because I feel like, and I'm probably wrong, is that you're a little too far for a throw. So from right here. So I know that you are plus after this hit, right? And I'm fully committed to taking a throw. But then from right here, you're already too far, right, for a throw. But let's see what you do. So you try to shimmy me a little
Well,
bit, right?
yeah, it was the walk in, walk out is what I was trying to do there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I think if I was averse to getting thrown, I probably would have went for a tech there. But in my
Hmm.
mind, it's kind of funny. Like when I see this spacing, I'm not thinking about throw for some reason. And maybe this is wrong on my part, but from like this space right here, my mind isn't thinking you're gonna go for a throw. Right? If
Hmm.
you walk up and throw me, then yeah, now I'll start thinking about it. But like, um,
What
in
is
my
going on with his jacket?
I don't. It's funny because
A
the
little nip
frame.
slip there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It like moves him out, right? But
but it
now it's
like disappears.
yeah,
Yeah,
like the jacket clips through his body in the back, right?
yeah,
So, um, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes animations are funny, right? Because if you look at Bison's mouth, it's moving too, right? Like they're
yeah.
talking while this is happening for some reason. So, at any rate, yeah, I'm not thinking throw here, right? In my head, I'm not considering a throw, and part of that is because I don't think you've thrown me enough yet, right? You threw me a couple times earlier in the game, right? And
Yeah,
that was
only 4 times the
yeah,
first
only four
round.
times, right? Only four, quote unquote, only four. But if you look at the life totals, right? Situation, game
Yeah, I mean
situation, all that.
it's not going to be a problem if you get
Yeah,
thrown.
if I get thrown,
You
it's no
just
big
lose a
deal.
little screen position.
Yeah, and then you have to spend meter to continue your pressure, right? If you wanted to do that, which you could, and that's strong and a strong option, right? And I just have to deal with that. But if I get shimmied here, like that's 3,000 damage, right? Like that's a ton of damage if that happens, right? So
Mm.
I'm averse to teching right now, right? Like I haven't been conditioned enough to want to tech those situations yet, right? So, and then the walk back happens, right? And I just kind of press because that's what Kens do. We press crouching medium kick all the time. But in reality, what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of waiting for you to move, right? I'm trying to try to get a sense of when you want to move, and then I happen to hit you. So, well defended, missed the perfect parry. It's okay. You're still plus, right? And then I jab, I crouching medium punch, right? So it looks like you just kind of blocked this out. Didn't really press too much overall. Let's see. Did you press anything? I don't think so. Yeah, you just blocked it, right? Yeah. Press the jab. Did the kick. Let it come out. It's fine. Right. So here now is Bison's Bane, right? Like, how do Bison get out of this situation, right? Because like you can't
Mm.
whiff punish anymore. You can't really fish your buttons anymore, right? So what do you do? And unfortunately, I think the answer to this is to try to walk up and take up space and press buttons, right? So I think for Bison, his best tools in neutral in this situation would be like crouching medium punch and probably crouching medium kick. And to some extent, maybe stand heavy kick, right? Maybe that's a little bit too much, actually, think about it.
You mean medium kick?
Stand medium kick, yeah, sorry. As a poke, right?
Yeah.
The stand heavy kick, I think, is not going to work out too well for you neutral like that. Just because it's too slow, right? So 13 frames, a little tough, right? So yeah. So yeah, I think like that's how you have to kind of work your way out of that situation. Is you kind of have to take up space and be willing to press those medium buttons, right? Try to hit me, basically, even if it's on block, right? Even if I block something, I get pushed back a little bit, right? And you just need to get enough space to be able to play neutral again. Really, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So from here, defense wise, you actually do an okay job. Let's see, right there it is, perfect, right? I whiff my button. You managed to hit me with your crouching medium punch into OD scissors, right? Right, situation completely reversed now, right? Completely out of the corner here. We're mid screen. I have bomb plant now. This is bad, right? So if I get hit
Mm-hmm.
here, this is gonna hurt. Oh yeah, see? OD crusher, right? Bomb detonation. Some follow up here is supposed to happen,
Yeah, that's
right?
that's the one I was talking about where I thought you were closer to the corner where you
Mm-hmm.
can get the overhead until I should
Mm-hmm.
have just if I had just done heavy bomb plant right there instead of doing the overhead into the light, that would have worked.
Yeah, yeah, and
Just
then
yeah.
yeah. Next time, right? For next time. I think there's some There's definitely some merit to going for those corner combos when you're in that corner and knowing the space in there. But honestly, if you're not sure, just go for the universal one, right? Whatever that looks like
Yeah.
for Bison, right? So
Yeah, and I don't know this level well enough, like the background to know where
yeah,
I
yeah, it's a little bit
was.
awkward, right? New
It's a new
stage and
one.
all that.
Well,
So
actually, this is probably different from what I had, but I don't even
oh
remember
yeah,
what I
yeah,
had.
yeah. I think I had I don't remember what it was actually, but
Yeah, I don't remember at
whatever
all.
the stage was, right? I mean, it might just be something you have to get used to. Corner, right? Like how far you need to be for the corner. But again, if you're not sure, just go for the universal option. Right?
Right.
It's not a huge, unoptimal thing, right? You still get heavy bomb plant, you still get good Oki, right? All the good things that come from that still happen, right? So, but what happens here, right? So you go for a walk up jab. You're a little bit late on your meaty, and I challenge, right? And we trade. So like, you know, I think that's just a result of you missing your setup in the previous interaction. You went for like a jab to kind of continue it, and it didn't quite work out, right?
Hmm.
So, it is what it is. I try to jump, and then here I thought was an interesting decision because you burned out for it, right?
Yeah.
Right. So
I think I
here,
was just panicked because I didn't anti-air you there. So,
yeah, yeah, and then it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna get burned out here now, right? Target combo into Jinrai, right? Like something like that'll probably burn you out.
Mhm.
So what I will say is that in this scenario right here, you've decided that you're going to reversal me in some capacity, right? So I think that level 1 makes more sense to do if that you're going to spend meter like that, right? So because you're banking on the same thing, right? Like D-Rev loses the same things that this would lose to, right? If I block here or go for
Yeah,
like
but
a jab,
it's
yeah.
yeah, I don't have that as a snap reaction to the right though.
Okay,
To the left, it's
a little
easier to
easier.
kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like squeeze it in between hits, kind of thing. But to the right, it's a little more difficult for me with
Gotcha,
a right facing super.
gotcha. Um, it's just one of those things I think you'll probably need to incorporate into your game because Bison is the way he is, right? You have to use level 1 to get out of
Yeah.
situations, right? So, but like decision making wise though, you've already decided at this point you're going to derev me, right? Or reversal me, if you will, right? So if your decision point here is I'm going to reversal, then it should be a level 1 here, right? Given your meter
Hmm.
situation, right? So the ideal situation and ideal kind of thinking for that happens before this, right? So after this, right? During the cinematic maybe or whatever else, especially because they're cinematic, you should take stock of your meter at that point, right? Like, oh, I have 1 bar here.
Hmm.
What decisions can I make from this scenario now, right? I have 1 bar. So you go for a kind of a jab here to try to just get some pressure back. You get hit, right? You take some drive damage, and now you're like, oh crap, right? I don't have meter now, right? Like that's something that I think a sense you'll have to develop more, especially with Bison again, because you don't have a like. If you're on DJ, you just ODDP, get out of the situation completely, and it's fine. But you still burn out for it, right? And for DJ too, it makes more sense to do that because his level 1 isn't strike invulnerable, right? Like you have to use level 2 or level 3 in that scenario. So
Well, yeah, I mean, with DJ, it's easy even without charge. It's much easier for him to anti-air. I would say like almost any jump angle.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
even like you can handle a lot of cross ups with
hmm
it, or I can at least with his back heavy kick.
yeah. That basic
Um,
thing, yeah.
yeah, but there I actually had charge and I just didn't quite react. And I
Okay.
think you were, I think you were close enough on the same side that it would have worked, or obviously crouch heavy punch.
hmm
Part of that is like switching between characters, right? But
hmm
just like I think Bison is the first character where I've had to rely on the crouch heavy punch
hmm
anti-air, so
hmm
it's not quite as baked into my muscle memory. Like I played Ryu for a month a while back,
hmm
but I was just trying to DP everything.
Yeah, because
Um,
that's how you do it, right? That's how you play
right,
Ryu.
yeah,
That's how you play Shoto. Um, but yeah, I do think that the decision making for meter spending needs to happen before the interaction, right? You should already
right,
kind
yeah,
of prime your brain to be like, all right, if this is coming in, I'm going to reversal and I'm going to reversal level 1, right? Like I'm not going to use meter. And again, this situation here is also, I think, another example of where you could have did the walk under, right? Like I think walk under
yeah,
crouching heavy punch would work too. And if you had meter or
yeah,
sorry, charge here, you might have been able to do that too. It's I landed on the right side, like the right side of the screen, the correct side for you to crush your meat here, right? So that could have worked as well. So you had options there.
yeah,
But if you had decided that you're going to, like my original point is, if you had decided you're going to reversal here, do it with a level 1 instead of the meter, right? If this is the
right,
case here. So. Because now in this situation here is really rough for Bison, right? You don't have access to OD scissors. You don't have access to driver's cancel anymore. So all of your pressure, like how do you get in now with Bison in this scenario, right? You don't have OD crusher to do a safe thing. You have to make a hard read or you have to walk up, right? And it's very difficult to do that against a fireball character and like a character with a good driver's like Ken, right? So, but that said, you do a good job, right? And you get clipped walking back, trying to get out
yeah,
of the
as
space.
usual.
Yeah. Right. So this is tough, right? You're burned out. You're facing Jinrai pressure, right? Everything is now safe. A bunch of things are now real, right? You can't level 1 against the medium Jinrai anymore. You have to make a hard read if you want a reversal. This is a very difficult situation to navigate for anybody, right? Let alone someone like Bison, right? So The best way, unfortunately, to deal with this is to not be in it in the first place, right?
Right. Yeah.
Burnout, Jinrai pressure, like this is what Ken gets. That gets this Ken's reward for burning you out is I get to do free Jinrai kicks, right? And then here, you whiff a button. I'm just trying to get out of. I'm just trying to move back into a space that makes sense to press this button, and then I cash out to kill you, right? So. This whole scenario here, like the corner defense piece, you could have reversal at some point. Maybe that would have made sense to do. It's very difficult to figure out when that would have been. But realistically, I think you fall into this scenario because of this right here.
Yeah. Well, really, really, it goes back to the bomb detonation and dropping that because, like, I'm willing to spend. I spent 2 bars for that. Fine, I'm still above 3. Drive rush in, and then I'm going almost into burnout because of that.
Yeah.
But the situation now versus if I have the bomb in, is very different. Because A, I have, an Oki setup. B, you have the bomb in you, so your kind of decision making is different.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like a very different situation.
Yeah, from right here. Oh.
Yeah, you just do heavy bomb and it should.
Right.
Yeah.
So that situation is.
So now I still have 1 bar, but you have a bomb in you, and I'm right on top of you.
Yeah. And you get to do whatever you want now, right? Crouching, you can do a heavy back medium kick if you have a setup for that for extra plus frames, or just do it because it's plus. You can do jab pressure. You can do basically anything you want from here, right? Is the situation better overall? For sure, right? Like definitely. Even though you have less bar to work with here, you don't have to spend bar for Bison here, right? Unless there's a situation where you land a clean hit and you cash out to kill me level 3, right? That could be a thing. Like let's say I have bomb on me and then you're able to do an overhead or something. You go into OD Crusher, right? And then you just level 3 me, right? Like you do a ton of damage doing that, right? A cash out, of course, makes sense, right? But again, my defensive decision making is definitely skewed if I have bomb on me in this scenario, right? And I think it plays out a little differently. I'm less inclined to jab you here, right? I don't know if I would press the same way, right? So, but yeah, like you're in like from right here, you're in complete control of the round, right? I'm on the back foot here trying to get out of it. But then, oh shit! But then I'm able to, you drop the thing, right? I'm able to jab out, and then one jump happens, you burn out for it, and then from there it's just basically taking over the game because you're burned out, right? So, but overall, like I thought that most of the game you played pretty well, right? You were able to get out of the corner with your crouching medium punch fish for the OD scissor kicks. You took me corner to corner. You got a mix up with the overhead that I wasn't able to block successfully. Got the damage you wanted, maybe dropped the combo, but like the pieces of a successful round were all there, right? It's just that there were 1 or 2 decision points that caused a snowball effect for you, right? Burning out in that scenario, for example, like didn't quite work out for you, and then going for the corner combo when you weren't quite in the corner, right? Like those 2 things kind of allowed me to steal the round from you, if you will, right? So. But otherwise, I thought those rounds were played pretty well, right? There wasn't too much that was going wrong for you overall. I just had to make a couple of educated guesses, right? So, but yeah, I think again, like some of it is combo routing, and some of it is just making sure that in neutral your spacing is a little bit more cleaned up, right? You're not kind of whiffing buttons, but you did a good job, right? I mean, like I had you in the corner, you're able to fight your way to the corner, and use crouch and medium punch pretty effectively. So. All right, cool. So let me bring up to the replay. Any thoughts or questions while I'm bringing this up?
No, I think that's helpful. Yeah, I would say even with DJ in certain situations, I don't think as proactively about stopping jump outs from the corner in a way that keeps the opponent on the same side. So that I think that makes sense too. And then just like working on the jump back button in general, because that's not really in my repertoire unless I'm like thinking about it ahead of time.
Yeah, it's like, very hard. It's very hard to add that to your mental. I've been trying to do it with Bison. Like I've been playing Bison myself, and it's so hard like to do that because my brain is not wired to jump on reaction to their jump, right? Like
Hmm.
I've been caught out trying to jab them, right? Because I try to input DP, and sometimes it works actually. Because Bison's stand jab is kind of ridiculous, right? So sometimes I'll input a DP, get a stand jab, and it'll anti-air them anyway, right? But yeah, it's not something that I think once you play like who else has like Marissa, I think has something like that, right? Or some
Hmm.
characters have like jump throw, like air throws that could be a thing, but if you're not used to it, it's very difficult to pick that up. But the
Yeah.
way you do it though is by standing at a spacing that allows you to react to that, right? So everyone talks about standing under the timer, right? We have them in the corner. You stand under the timer, right, so that you can anti-air jumps, you can react to buttons they press, and you can have you have space not to walk in and out of ranges, right? Like most characters in the game, when you have them cornered, they don't have any buttons that will necessarily be able to reach you from the timer position, right? Like if you're standing on the timer against the corner, right? You know, barring stuff
Hmm.
like sim, right, or like some other esoteric buttons, whatever. But for the most part, the buttons that people would press to try to get out of the corner would not necessarily be able to reach you from that spacing, right? So that allows you the time to react to jumps, right? Like that's what allows you to keep them locked in, right? So
Hmm.
because then if they try to jump, you would just answer air with a crouch heavy punch, or if you're aware, you can go for the air target combo, right? But either way, you have time to react. But if you're standing too close in cross up range, like what happened in the round we were playing, then you can get jumped on, right? And then maybe you get the cross up crouching heavy punch, and maybe that's the way out. Like that's what you get from that. Like you anti air them, they get out of the corner though. And that's it is what it is. But standing at the right spacing can help a ton when it comes to managing your own mental stack to keep them cornered. Good DP from the Ryu. Okay, make a parry. Oh, alright. Okay, good scissors. Good whiff punish. Ooh, okay. Dash up, delay button, right? The classic, right? And just catches you, right? So this is one of those
Hmm.
things where on the dash up, you have to be willing to check with a jab or something if they're dash up too
Yeah.
close, right? Because they can't do anything while they're dashing, right? So if you jab them, that could be a thing you try to do. Try to check
Hmm.
the dash, right? Even if it's on block, right? If they block it, then they lose a little bit of space and their pressure, quote unquote, ends, right? Like that's totally fine as well. We get clipped, right? Wake up parry, unfortunately, getting thrown, right? Wake up parry, I feel like is an okay option, but it can be tough, right? Because it's a really hard call out to a strike, right? Like meaty strike, but it loses to basically everything else, right? Loses the meaty throw, loses the shimmy, loses the jump, neutral jump, right? Backdash, like all the other things that aren't meaty strike, like parry loses
Hmm.
to, right? So it is a hard call out, and the reward can be very good if you get a perfect parry, but it loses to a lot of the common things, right? So you kind of have to use. I think wake up parry is a good option after you've gotten a sense of how your opponent likes to run offense, right? So like some
Yeah.
people really like drive rush button after throwing you, right? Or like doing something like that. That's when I think wake up parry makes more sense, right? Doing that. But if they're just throwing you, then it can be tough. Now this is the first I've seen it in this game. I don't know how many games you played of this particular Ryu. So it could just be that you went for it early and you got thrown for it. But I do think that wake up parry early in a set, I think blocking is probably a little bit more of a better option, right? Just because
Yeah.
if you're going to take a throw in either case, right? Taking a 1200 damage throw that you can back roll from versus a punish counter throw here, right? Like that's worse. So good. I don't mind that at all. Your scissor kicks have been good air to air, but these scissor kicks have been spaced very well, right? Like, I just want to highlight this because this is paramount to playing Bison well. I think is that if you do this a lot, and you can't punish you from here, right? This is gonna get
Hmm.
irritating real fast, right? Like they're gonna start
Yeah.
trying
Well,
to
it
other stuff,
pushes
right?
him back like a full
Yeah, it's absurd, right?
square.
Like,
Yeah. It's crazy.
it's so much, right? And it's a space trap, right? If they decide to press here, you just crouching medium punch them into OD scissors, right? Like auto
Yeah.
spaced, right? Of course, he doesn't press here because he knows I'm assuming he doesn't want to press here. He doesn't, right? He just dashes instead. But the scissors have been spaced very well so far. I don't think I've seen one that was punishable yet. Even when we played, right? I don't think I was able to punish any of them, right? So, right. So go for reversal here. I think that's okay. You have some meter to burn. You lose a bar here from the punish kind of throw, but you're still in the green. I think it's okay. And that pressure, right? Good air there. Alright. Okay. Now, something that you could have done here is taken the meterless route, right? So I think that for Bison, the OD scissors actually makes sense because you get a lot of it back, right? So your 3 bars here. You get half a bar back, right? So does using OD scissor kicks here make more sense than just going into medium bomb plant, right? That's something that you'll need to decide for yourself, I think. I don't have quite the right answer for that overall because I
Yeah,
think like you don't burn out
I
you don't burn out for it, so it's fine, right? So anyway, sorry, good.
yeah, I guess I don't. I like almost never use light and medium bomb because they're um you don't get like that drive rush Oki
Yeah,
off
there's
of
no Oki
it.
off it, yeah.
But where my meter was, it's not like I was going to drive rush anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And we were kind of close to the corner ish. I guess that was after the OD.
Yeah. So
So
here,
like even going for just like Crusher there and
mm-hmm.
just getting some Oki would have been nice too.
Yeah, it's like was it
But
medium crusher? I think is what it is from there.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he'd probably be in the corner, and you get like the +5, like dash +5 kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's just something to consider when it comes to your meter management, right? So, like at this level, maybe it's still not quite something you have to pay so much attention to, but to get to the next level, you have to make those meter decisions, right? Like, are you willing to deal with Ryu in the corner with only a bar and a half to work with, versus had you taken like say right the meterless conversion here, right? Oh, oh man, I can't. I'm just gonna do this instead. Right, something like that, right? So if you look at the situation, you don't have Oki, but you do have Bomb Plant and you have a ton of meter here, right? Similarly, if you go into Crusher, or medium, I think it's medium Crusher, right? So
Yeah,
if I could,
I don't know if you'd have to start earlier to get charge. I think.
oh, did you not? Let's see if we can.
I think I knew I was gonna go into that, so I wasn't
So you
holding
weren't charging?
charge.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah. Oh, I was looking at the wrong inputs.
Oh, I'm the wrong player.
Yeah, you went. Yeah, you did the same thing. I was looking at the left
Yeah.
side because.
If I could. Well, since I can't do charge moves, I'll just call it there. But I think you do get some sort of Oki scenario from there, right? Like you would have similar amount of drive, and they would be at this drive, right? So part of the meter management is not just your own meter, but your opponent's meter, right? So in this scenario here, if you had gone for the Crusher, right, and you have Oki, and you go for like the dash up back heavy kick, or some other plus frames where they have to hold it or they have the reversal, you could burn them potentially. You could burn them out potentially, right? Like there's a strong possibility here that if you had an Oki scenario, you'd be able to burn them out, right? Additionally, in that hypothetical we're talking about, actually now have a driver's cancel as well, right? So you could extend your pressure to burn them out if that makes sense to do, right? So in this situation
It's
here,
possible. I don't know how much meter they would have regenerated there, but if I had done a combo into level 1, that does, I think, 1 brick of drive gauge damage. Oh
oh
no,
no, it's
no,
like
that's
it's
level
like
2.
yeah, it'd be level 2. I think it'd
Yeah,
be like a
yeah,
half,
it's like half
yeah,
or yeah, something like that.
like this, right? Oh man. Oh, you don't have meter yet. You don't have level 1 anyway.
Yeah,
So
you'd have to build
you'd have to
it.
build it,
So like
right?
you'd have to do like OD scissors into heavy punch. That probably gets you enough
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to
And then
cancel the heavy
the
punch into
potential for
level
level
one.
1. Yeah. At any rate, though, it's just something to consider as you climb up, right? As you're going through this, like you've already from right here, right? You already know you're going to land a hit, right? So the question becomes, how much of this do I want to spend? How much of this do I want to take away? Do I have enough super for this, or enough meter for super, right? Like those decision points come in now. So you know, and I think that's an optimal way to play Bison is because his pressure is so strong that he's attacking your drive gauge just because he's pressing a bunch of buttons in your face, right? So something to keep in mind, right? I feel like with Bison, you win a lot more when you burn your opponent out, right? When they can't deal with Bison's plus frames that he gets, right? They don't have an option other than trying to risk a super. It becomes very easy for Bison to open you up with strike throw, right? He just throws you, right? Shimmies you, does all the things that Bison does, eventually gets a bomb plant because you get opened up, and then you have to hold that even more, right? There's no way out of that anymore, right? So yeah, you definitely have level 1 here. So, but he did regain some of this, right? So, does it make sense to level 1 here? Maybe, because if you did, you'd get some of your meter back, and you would take away half of his, right? So he would be like 1 or 2 heavy buttons away from burning out. Of course, none of that matters because the Ryu just decides to ODDP you with 1 bar, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, again, like if I was talking to this guy, I would say I've decided to reversal here. I would level 1 because the burnout is worse now, right? You burned out against Bison in the corner here, right? You're getting a heavy bomb plant. Right?
Yeah, and here's where I need, like, all I basically do is like the standard, and this is still a pretty good situation since we're both burned out.
Yeah.
But there, finding a way to capitalize on that without having to use the OD Crusher, is definitely something I need to add.
Yeah, I wish I knew the answer to that. Unfortunately, I don't play Bison enough to tell you what the correct thing is
Yeah.
there. But this situation here is totally fine, right? Anyway, yeah, I wish I knew the answer. But I think the way to lock them in though is what you're doing, right? Constant scissor kicks because they can't really punish it. It's safe now, right? If you do the scissor kicks -2 or whatever, or -1 rather, they have to guess when you're going to press your button. If they try to reversal you, right, you might be able to catch them out. But then the Ryu kind of gets aggressive, right?
And then you see what happens.
Yeah.
Freeze frame on the Hashigeki.
Yeah.
But he lets me jump out.
Probably because he got his meter back.
Yeah.
Ooh, had a chance. Now both you guys just spend a meter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I thought I could anti-air that. I was just way too late.
This.
He does like some kind of jump.
Oh, he just does the.
It was earlier when I did the second crusher. Not the one the second I get my meter back.
Yeah.
But there was a second one.
Oh, there.
Yeah, he jumps there,
jumps?
and I just didn't react in time.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that would work or not, to be honest, because there's a lot of. Well, maybe. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I would say that I think that neutral jump is pretty far away, though, so who knows if you would have been able to reach it or not. But still safe, though, right? Yeah, and then you just get caught walking here. Or I think you get caught pressing, right? He just kind of presses and you get hit, right? So, like, the round itself got kind of scrambled at the end, but...
There's no way... Well, there's no way I meant to press... Let me look at my inputs there. I think I tried to super, because I'd never press light kick, and it didn't come out, which is quite serendipitous, and then I tried to, like, catch him with a jab or something.
It didn't quite...
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe that was the case, right? You were again. It got scrambly at the end, right? You guys were both spending meter like crazy trying to get the last hit in, right? And it got a little scrambly, and it is what it is. But if we trace back the round itself, right? I think that the decision for him to burn out. So here, most of it's okay, right? Street Fighter. Right, some good pokes, good counter, good whiff punish. Get clipped. And then here's where you take over the round. Right, from here, like this is a really strong position for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what I end up doing is usually the heavy bomb plant here, right? Forward dash, crouching heavy punch, heavy bomb plant, right? Because that detonates, if I'm not mistaken. So you would still have meter, right? Still have a good position, still have bomb plant on you, right? So, and you get some meter back. I think that the OD Crusher, like we were talking about that, is I don't think the OD Crusher is necessarily great unless you're like it's not great if you burn out for it unless you kill them, right? So
Mm-hmm.
because like if you think
Yeah, I
about the
think there's some
situation,
stuff you can do with scissors
mm-hmm.
to like you can like get if you get something to like hit him in the air like when it detonates,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can like scissors to juggle and then get another bomb off that somehow. But I just need to look into that and figure it out,
Yeah,
lather
yeah,
it
yeah.
up.
There's probably some known combo that you can do. But if we take a look at this from a just purely a number of interactions to win standpoint, right? This is after you spent, and this is where he's at, right? Something like I don't know, whatever this is, 20%, say, right? You did a 4,000 damage combo. You have this much, right? This much health to. This is how much health damage you did, right? So let's just keep that in mind, right? If I go back, right, and from here I do this. Oh. Ah. Right. So even if I don't get the follow up here, right, and I still have bomb plant on them, look where their health is, right? It's here.
Yeah.
So like, and we said that with the extension you did, the health is closer to here, right? So this is still one interaction in both scenarios, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you can kill them with one combo here, one extension, right? The main difference though is that if you had them in this combo, they did the meterless, you have an extension now in the tank. Basically, you could burn out if you wanted to kill them, and you still can kill them, right? Like you can any random hit into level 1 or OD scissors or whatever is going to kill them from this scenario. But the difference is now is that they're burned out, you have meter, and they're in the corner still, right? You didn't have to burn out for that pressure, and you'd have bomb plant and all that other good stuff, right? That still happened. What I'm trying to highlight here is that the meter expenditure, since it didn't kill, didn't change the number of interactions to win the game. And if it's not going to make a difference, the number of interactions you win the game, then maybe save the meter for another situation, basically, right? Do you find yourself burning out a lot as Bison?
Not a ton.
No, okay.
I mean, it happens, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
of
you just
course.
saw it happen, but
Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, I mean, it
but
happens, right?
yeah, I mean, in general, I'm trying to do my thing, and if it doesn't work out, like, basically the only time I'm like trying to get down to one bar and continue pressure would be if I'm getting another bomb, like in that game against you, where I like whiffed the thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then, like, sometimes you get crazy at the end of a round, and
Yeah, and that's what happened here. It was
you
a lot
know,
scrambly, right?
send the OD Crusher on a prayer.
Yeah, and it would have worked had they gone for like a fireball or a Hasho, right? That's what you were banking on, right? So, right, you take this instead, right? And then here you're just trying to get through, right? So in somehow some way get them to press, right? You go for Cyber Crusher here. You're plus, plus still, and then you get into Hasho jail, right? So, like the scrambliness of this, I think, is predicated by your burnout, right? I think you approach this a little bit different if you're not burned out, right? So,
Right, for sure.
yeah. So, yeah, it's just yeah, if we go back to how that round kind of got away from you, it would be, I think the deciding moment would have been when you burned out for that punish, right? I think you, again, your decision making probably is a little bit more reserved if you didn't burn out, right? You wouldn't have gotten to the Hasho situation, and the scramble that happens afterwards doesn't happen anymore. Right? You're able to kind of lock them in, and hopefully they make a mistake, basically. So, DP'd again, huh? All right, tech throw. Okay, so he doesn't react. Oh, he tried to.
I thought he was going to do a Hasho,
Okay.
so I was just kind of sending it as a read on that,
Yeah,
but it worked out.
it worked. Yeah, he tried to DI, but he's out of the cancel window for his crutch medium.
Yeah.
So works out. Good stuff. All right, I don't
I
mind that.
almost dropped that.
It's close, huh?
I somehow a crouch heavy punch came out.
Oh, you did drop it technically. He just wasn't blocking.
Yeah.
Oh, he tried to tech, and he got a counter hit.
Okay.
Okay, it's supposed to
I
be.
remember that. I was like, did
Yeah,
I just get a free reset?
yeah, because this is gonna do mad damage now.
Yeah, I think I send a level 3 here probably.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would in that scenario. Yeah, down a round, right? Early in this round, you got a chance to deal a ton of damage. You're gonna get meter back. No question. Look at this free
And
reset.
that's just from the reset.
That's just
That
from the
doesn't
reset. Yeah,
count.
doesn't
Yeah,
count the overhead.
the initial.
because the guy tried to tech and then got clipped by a crouching heavy punch. That's so funny. Because that's supposed to be crouching medium punch, if I'm not mistaken, right? So anyway,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
let's see. Look at this scenario now, right? He has to deal with Bison pressure in the corner, one hit away, right? And totally makes a
Yeah,
difference.
that one right there is overpowered.
Yeah, but this
The
is
regular rise into Odie's stomp, and you just throw.
Yeah, you just throw after.
Yeah, because you're plus.
But this is the power of Bison, though, right? So you get one DI that worked out. Drive high-low mix does not block it correctly. Now, of course, this happens for you, and that's great. But even if it didn't happen, right, there's a little bit of scaling that would occur. And he would not have taken 6,000 damage. Maybe it ends up being like 57.
No,
Right, so...
I think it's still 6,000. I think
Okay.
it's like 6,100.
Okay.
Or maybe there's more scaling on the overhead.
Yeah, and then
Than
from the
back
medium
heavy
punch,
kick.
maybe. But that all said, it would not change the number of interactions he has left to live, right? You would still kill him
Right.
next interaction, right? So, it doesn't change that calculus at all. So, barring the funny reset that happened here, if you consider, like, had this gone correctly, quote unquote correctly, had this gone, you didn't drop it and it worked out, your situation is still the same, right? Like, there's nothing fundamentally different that would be happening here, right? So now you just have to keep him in the corner until he makes a mistake. And you just do
Well,
this.
it is slightly different because they're the throw kills where maybe he had an extra.
Maybe, but this is a punish kind of
Yeah.
throw here, right? So, like, it's still 20%. Would the situation
Yeah,
have been
that's true.
different overall? A little bit, maybe, right? Maybe he survives one more throw, potentially, here. But if you think about all things being the same, he still parries in that scenario, right? And you still kill him, right? So,
Yeah.
is that... again, this is a good round for you, right? This is like a Bison round, right? You get one or two
Yeah.
mix-ups into a ton of damage, and then...
It never gets old. Like, oh yeah, I did the thing. I did the overhead.
Yeah, I
Blah, blah.
had a chance to do
I'm
the
so
cool,
good at this game.
I had a chance yesterday. It was funny. I had a chance to do the cool, like, what is it, OD Crusher, where you get the lift, and then I had metered to do the OD Stomp, and then I dropped the level 3 at the end, and I was so sad. I was like,
Oh man.
I'm gonna drop ranked. I'm gonna quit Bison now because I had a chance to do a cool thing and I didn't. That all said, though, yeah, for sure. I think that, like, Bison combos here that deal a ton of damage when you land them is like a straight dopamine rush, right?
Yeah.
From a technical standpoint, every decision you made there, like, worked out, right? And they were all good decisions, I think, right? So you tried to DI based on you made a read on a Hasho, worked out, right? You did it overhead, you dropped it, but it worked out too, right? Like, the decisions I think that were being made were mostly correct. Some execution stuff is what it is. And then at the end, you were able to bait out a throw, right? Or bait a parry, right? So I think that was a good round, right? Ooh, okay. Tried to rise there and didn't work out. Okay, see the punish. Drops it. Get good counter DI. Okay, so... Alright, so, something to consider here, right? A bit of a higher level thing, and maybe you don't have to do this, but something that I've been trying to look at more is, can you burn your opponent out from right here, right? So, if I do this... I think that's
yeah.
like, even just DI, right? Or I think you do crouching heavy punch DI. That's a combo, right? I think so.
I think it's a 3 hit. Yeah.
Yeah, it says 3 hits there.
So one.
Yeah, one. Yeah. So the one is the DI, right? The second one is the crushing heavy punch, and yeah. So something like this, right? The burnout here, situation-wise, like, is this better for you than taking the bomb, basically, right? Something to think about. If you think
Does the second DI do an additional full bar?
it does another bar, yeah.
Okay.
So if we look at this, right? Yeah, it does another bar of damage, or another dry bar. It takes away another dry bar, basically.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then what you would do there is you would basically do some sort of button into DI, right? It could even be a lock; it doesn't matter, right? You just want to get the drive damage, right? So, for Bison especially, is this situation better for you than getting the heavy bomb plant, right? That's something you might want to look at overall. Now, I don't know the answer to that. It's something I'm actually incorporating in my game more and more. Is when I run and land a counter DI, is there an opportunity for me to burn them out or not, right? And if it's so, is it worth taking over the damage that I would do, right? Because here, if you look at the damage, it's only 1600 damage that I'm doing, right? But if you look at the combo you did, right, it's 2300 damage, heavy bomb plant Oki, right? But they have a little more than a bar here now because they recover some of that while they're getting hit, right? Like you see the recover there. So is the burnout worth it for Bison or not in that scenario? Now, I think that it might be. I think that, the meter situation is something that is kind of overlooked at these MRs because people are more concerned about the neutral game or whatever. But it's very, very difficult to play SF6 neutral without meter, right? If you don't have drive rush, if you don't have reversals available to you, it's so hard to play, right? To play the game. Plus, all of Bison's crazy normals are going to be plus now, right? Plus 5 or plus 9 now. If you do a drive rush back heavy kick and they block it, you're plus 9, right? Like absurd amounts of plus frames now. So, something to consider when you see situations like that. Again, it's something. Does it make sense to do? Does it not make sense to do? I don't know how the round goes if you burn them out or not, right? How does this guy deal with burnout or not? But I will say burned out against Bison is a very scary proposition, right? So.
Right.
Oh, you shimmied and he... Ouch. Right, this is a full combo, right? Yeah.
He teched, later than I would have been looking for it.
Yeah. It was a very late tech on his part, actually. Right.
It was almost like he was trying to tech a delay tech from me, like an offensive delay tech.
Yeah, because let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But I don't think that's.
It was a normal-ish delay tech timing, a little bit late actually, but it's just a little bit skewed because if you look at the frame meter here, this is when you're plus right here. This is when you can act. So it looks a little bit weird because you're just moving, nothing's happening for you. But I think that's a normal delay tech timing actually, a little bit late, but. It would have broken the throw. Unfortunately, I think you just weren't quite ready for that. And then unfortunately, this gets blocked, right? Okay. Goes to DI. Okay, burned him out now, right? So this situation, after that scramble situation we were looking at a second ago, which both you guys are trying to do something, right? And land a hit. Now Ryu is burned out. You have a little more than a bar to use here. How do you deal with this, right? What happens? Let's see. Okay. Crusher on reaction. Gets through the fireball. It's not the worst thing in the world, but you are burned out now, right? Now, that said, you do have positional advantage and Bison advantage, right? Because you have Oki from here. And he just reversals you. Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Does that make sense on his part to do? I think so, right? Just went for reversal. He did go for the shimmy that he ended up delay teching, and then instead of shimmying him again, you went for meaty, and then he just reverses you, right? And is what it is. The part that sucks about this though is this, right?
Right.
That is probably the worst part overall of what happened, right? The damage is whatever, right? Because you're gonna you'll have level 2 probably by the end of the round if you don't die right away. But it's unlikely, I think, that you get your meter back from here. So let's see. Okay, Hosher Jail. Alright, gets meter back. DI coming. DI coming again.
I was trying to find a spot to
reversal
super during his pressure and couldn't find it, and I tried to send it at a time when it wouldn't have worked. If you watch my inputs, you can see when I was like, okay, now
right there.
Yeah, I was buffering it there.
It didn't come out actually.
Yeah, so it did come out.
Yeah.
Look at all those directions.
Yeah, yeah, but you had it here actually. So right here, you tried, right?
Yeah.
So it would have worked if that came out. And then he baits you.
And then it's always like you do it once and you miss the input, and then the next time you do it, it's not the right time.
and
That's just the
and
way it goes.
and it's funny too because like you were talking about earlier. Oh, I saw the counter hit. He's gonna try something next interaction, right? And that's exactly what happened here, right? It's like you got hit. I think you saw a counter hit, right? Well, he saw it was in response to this is whatever. But for something when I see this badge happen, I'm like, oh, they're gonna try to reversal now.
There's no way he.
No way, he did. No, I don't think so. Actually,
There's no way he meant to do D-Rev, right?
let's see.
Like, how did that even?
Oh,
Oh, it was
he
DI.
sent a DI.
My bad.
Yeah, he sent a DI.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which makes sense, right? Because if you press a button here, like you try to take your turn back with a button, unless you're ready with level 1, it's gonna beat you, right? So
Right. Yeah.
like, but had you gotten your super off, they would have broken it, right? And maybe the round goes a little differently. Yeah. But you can see, right, you didn't get your meter back at the end of this, right?
Right.
Whereas he got most of his meter. I mean, once he got his meter back, he was able to pressure you effectively, right? So, like, so again, is this kind of comes back to like right here? Would it have made sense to burn him out or not, right? Does the round overall, the texture of the round overall change if he's burned out, right? Are you able to open them up with Bison pressure if they can't reversal you, right? Now, of course, they could level 3 you, right? It's just, that's what happens. But not having access to metered options does skew that, right? So you kind of spend here, right? So that's what makes this tough is you spend 3 bars to get this plus frame situation, and then he just jabs you out of the whatever your follow-up was, right? And then now we're looking at a very precarious situation for both of you, right? Like, oh man, I'm going to burn out next interaction, basically.
I should have just hit him with a medium kick there. It might have.
Yeah, something, right?
Might have burned him out.
Now you burn him out there, right? And this is fine
Yeah.
now. This is a good situation for you now, right? Like you want to hold on to this as best you can, walk him down. But then you decide to spend, right, to get through the fireball. Now, was this a good decision, bad decision? I would say it may not have been entirely correct. I mean, it's correct in the sense that you made the read, you hit them, right? But the long-term, like, decision here is that you now don't have meter to work with. And then we take the super, right? Unfortunately, you don't recover any drive gauge now, right? Because you're taking the super. And he gets like half of it. Well, not half, like 2 bars, something like that, whatever this is. So
it's like half, yeah.
Yeah. By the end of that, right? So 2.5 bar, whatever the time. There's someone knows what how much recovery you get on super. But that said, this situation now is a lot harder for you to navigate, right? He's gonna get meter before you do, right? You have to deal with Ryu Hasho pressure, right? Which is, I think, a little bit stronger than Bison's pressure if he's the one on offense, right? So, like, he just kind of jumps at you. Now he's the one getting to press the buttons, right? He's plus. You have to guess when the next gap is, right? So, yeah, if I were to take this round and kind of break it down into like where I think the key points might have been, could have been right here, maybe, right? Does this make a difference at all? The burnout here. But then the real kicker is this burnout right here, right? Like this one here is probably where it might have skewed your decision making after that, right? Now, of course, you take a level 3, wake up level 3. I think that might have happened regardless how much meter you had left. But you know, it would have burned you out and put you in a different situation. Maybe it burns you out, maybe puts you in a different situation overall, or maybe he doesn't reversal you, right? Maybe we have meter there, you go for something else potentially, right? But not having meter at all in that scenario, spending it to burn out for a non-kill combo can be kind of tough, right? That's kind of one of the, I think it's one of the things that starts to separate the lower level masters into starting to get into like the 1500s is how good or how well you manage your meter, right? If you're burning out for these kind of combos where you're not killing right away, I think you have to deal with the burnout, and not everyone's built like Noah the Prodigy, right? Like I can't play without meter, right? And a lot of folks can't either. That's how it is, right? Unless you're built like him and you can play Luke and just press whatever you want whenever you want and it works. But for most mere mortals, right, it's a little different, right? So that meter management, I think, is probably going to be one of the key things, right? Because that's something was consistent between the replays we looked at and some of the games we playing was that I think you go for some of these options that are metered options and they're good in the sense that you land the hit, but the fallout of that is you burned out, and then here it's hard to navigate that situation. So
Mhm.
yeah, and then here you take this, but even before that, right, this whole scramble situation that's going on here, right? I think you actually did okay, right? It's difficult to reestablish neutral here because things are just happening and you're trying to react to it, but you did overall okay because he's jumping around, people are doing stuff, right? They're just trying to burn each other out. You did the burnout here, right? And I think you navigated that fine. So, but yeah, I think like if you look at the neutral aspects though, which there isn't a whole lot being played here, to be honest, right? Because
Yeah.
there's you guys are jumping and things are getting hits, right? There's plus frames and stuff, right there, right? When it comes to spacing scissor kicks, you do this very well, and I think this is a strength that you should continue doing because what can Ryu do to you from here, right? He'd have to DI you or something else, make a hard read against this, right? Because if he, this is automatic space trap, he can't punish you, right? So this is something that I think you should continue doing for sure. Yeah, because that right there, even if you didn't jump, that lands, I think. Right, so
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about earlier. I get like a little too aggressive with it, and like they see the spacing, they see me getting into that spacing
mm-hmm.
and they neutral jump and and of course I do it. So when people start to do that, I'm trying to think about walking back into that spacing and waiting for them to jump
Mm-hmm.
and then either anti-airing it or
Air to air.
or wait till they land and do the scissors then because
Yeah.
they have like recovery frames.
Yeah, so that's something that you can consider doing. Is that you do scissor kicks, and then once they react with jumps, you can start airing them, or anti-airing them in some capacity, right? Walk up, crouch, heavy punch, or just let them jump, right? You don't have to win every neutral interaction, but you also
Mhm.
don't lose. Try not to lose that neutral interaction, right? Like, so if they neutral jump and land, nothing fundamentally changes spacing wise for them. Now you can adjust spacing because you're the one that's on the ground and moving. But if they neutral jump and land and nothing happens, then nothing happens, right? Like you reset back to the situation you were in, and that's not you're not losing anything from that, right? So, you know how it goes. So with that all said, I think that probably meter management is probably going to be the big one. So routing into combos that don't burn you out, maybe trying to maintain the pressure with Bison with meterless extension, or not meterless extension, but meterless combos and other
Mhm.
types of button pressure in the corner, right? Because you saw when you had me in the corner, it was very effective, right? You're able to poke me and keep me blocking. And then once you open me up with bomb, then it changes my entire defensive strategy, right? I can't just jab mindlessly anymore or challenge in spots that don't make sense because I'm gonna get blown up by bomb, right? Or
Mhm.
you might get plus range. You get plus range from that, and it's real. I can't necessarily
Yeah,
challenge there, right?
it's
So
yeah, well, it skews the risk reward and it lets me do things for free on offense that I couldn't before. Like you can do a bomb plant on block to chip drive gauge, for
mm-hmm,
example,
mm-hmm.
and that creates plus frames for you instead of being punishable.
Right. Or like Crusher, I think detonates it too, right? So you Crusher on block, you can continue your pressure with additional buttons, right? Or whatever the case may be. But that's kind of how Bison works, right? Like as I'm playing him, this is how what I'm realizing is that like his neutral game is okay, his buttons are all right, right? Other than his back heavy kick, where most of them are good enough. But as soon as you have some sort of Oki and advantage, and bomb plant, like your job now is to maintain that pressure as best you can, right? And
Mhm.
if you look at like I'm trying to think of like a high level Bison I've seen recently, and it was Mags, right? Magnegro, that played in the BLKO finals last season for Fight Rise, right? If you watch his set against Freezy, ultimately Freezy ended up taking it, right? But spoiler alert, sorry if anyone hasn't seen that set. But if you look at how he's able to apply pressure with bomb on and the timings that he detonates the bomb at, right? Or he is able to structure his pressure in a way that the bomb plant will happen, like the bomb explosion will happen at the end of some sort of block string or some other way to extend that plus frame situation, right? So like that's how I think Bison at a higher level gets played. The neutral game itself, again, crouch and medium kick, crouch and medium punch really are the buttons you use for drive rush, and then stand medium kick to control space. And then you can also throw in like a stand heavy punch and stand heavy kicks to try to whiff punish and get those punish counter, like the whiff punishes, right? So like I think that's how like Bison ends up being played effectively, right? But you do need meter to continue some of that pressure, right? So cool, man. I guess we run it back. The only thing I would say that you could probably make an adjustment for now, and might be a little tough, would be to try not to burn out. So pay attention to meter. When you have hits and you have extensions, be willing to take meterless extensions or meterless combos, or 2-bar extensions, but not burn out for it, right? So try not to make the hard read with the OD crusher when you'll burn out for it, right? So I think that's really the only thing I think like right now that make a difference. Because in neutral game, I think is fine. Spacing is mostly okay. Some, you can clean that up obviously, but I think right now it's good enough where it is. So I think where you might be getting caught is some of the movement after you block something and then getting burned out, causing you to have to deal with situations that are very difficult to navigate. So, all right, cool, man. Let's run it back. So queue up anywhere, I'll follow you in, and let's get it. Move the mics on because it's funny. Go from there. Yeah, I don't know, Splash, if you're still there. Yeah, I was playing pickleball earlier, and I had my headband on, and I was running a little late, so I didn't have a chance to like change or anything. So I was like, oh shit, let me just start the stream. So, in case you guys are wondering what I look like when I go to the gym, this is what I look like. So no glasses either, right? So.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn off your stream. Okay.
Good. Good.
Let's cancel.
Oh, no TP. Oh, good bait. Oh no. It's gonna hurt. I think I'm dead, right? Oh
yeah.
Man. I should have been dead anyway. That's big damage. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to spend my level 1.
Nice. I mean, it might have worked, but I was like, oh man, I think he's gonna reversal a second time. Oh, that one was too close.
Same thing as before.
Oh no. Oh.
That was the wrong version.
Nice.
There's the cancel.
Nice. There it is, right? So, you saw how much easier it was for you, I think, if you didn't burn, out, right? Like you had access to everything you needed the whole game. Nice. Oh, what a slide. Oh. Big bet. Worked out. Oh,
Oh, I didn't think it would punish, so I didn't send a special.
nice. Oh, that's not a crutch. Oh, no. That wasn't a stand light kick, man. Oh, that was nice. Man, DP whiffs. That Shadow Rise is too good, man, in the corner.
Yeah. That's actually the Honda tech.
Nice level 1.
A little too far.
Oh, a little bit too far. Yeah, that's tough.
And
If I block that's different, I think. Oh, doesn't reach. Oh, I should just send light kick. Oh no!
that was a misinput.
Odie Rice.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Odie Scissors.
Oh, I should just finish that string. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Got greedy on the drive rushes there. Man. Uh-oh. Dang it. Good. That's a good decision, though, I think, right? Drivers coming in. Uh-oh.
That was super lucky. I don't even know what I was trying to send there.
It worked out, though.
Yeah. Shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known the difference. Oh! No!
Oh my god!
I should have sent super. Man. That's funny. Nice. Oh, I tried to tech. Ah. the Shadow Rise came out?
Yeah, that I was trying to do a D-Rev after you struck me, and I think I pressed up with the
You know, the punches.
yeah, well, with the DI button. Um,
I got you. Uh-oh.
oh golly.
Oh, you were ready.
Oh, that's not the combo.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I think I could have killed
You
with a
definitely could
super
have
art
killed
one.
level 1, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good. But I think you can see the power of not burning out, right? It changes how I have to play offense. I can't get away with the kind of Jinrai BS that I was getting away with the other games where you burned out, right?
Hmm.
And I think, like, if you look at the combo routing that you took, a lot of it was meterless, but you did spend correctly, I think, right? Do 2-bar extensions or whatever. So I think that's the way to go for Bison, right? It's way more efficient to do OD scissors than it is to do drive rush cancels, right? If you can. But
Hmm.
you see that you have those options are available to you more often if you have meter, right? And taking meterless conversions a lot of times doesn't always change the number of interactions over the course of a round, right? It would still end up being 3 to 4 because you get a lot of straight hits too, right? Like, you know, you get straight hits from like anti-airs, crusher that lands, right? Pokes and all that stuff. So like taking one of your conversions as a meterless conversion typically won't change the number of times you have to win neutral interactions, right? Most of the time,
Hmm.
right? Except for like, you know, crazy optimal situations where you're, you know, that can come up. But for the most part, right, it was like, did it feel like you were working any harder to land more optimal combos? No, not really. I don't think you need to do any extra damage either, right? So cool, man. That's it. Anything else before we wrap up? What do you think?
No, no, that was good.
Okay,
Appreciate your time and everything.
yep.
So,
All right, cool, man. So I'll just do the outro here. You can hang out if you want. I'm just gonna meet you on the stream though. So thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate you.
all right, take care.
Take
Bye.
care. Cool, guys. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming out. Submissive Don, shut up. Hope you guys appreciated the appreciate you guys coming in, taking the time to see what's going on here. I run this through the Fight Rise Discord. So Fight Rise is a fighting community focused on Street Fighter 6. They do a bi-weekly tournament through their One Fight Stand series. It is a 7-round Swiss if you are in Master. It is rank separated as well. So if you are below Master, you can get into a round robin. It typically ends up being 7 rounds or so, depending on how many people show up for that. Come out. It's a good time. Everyone hangs out in voice chat, or just on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday. Come out. It's a good time, right? Meet some folks, get some tournament games, kind of a casual setting. They also do community events through their Urge to Fight series. So I put the Discord in chat. You can check out VODs on twitch.tv/FightRaceFGC. It's a good time, like community showcase events, right? That get people that have been participating in the community and doing well, you know, and leveling up, get to play games on stream, gets commentated by folks, and it's a lot of fun. They also do Big League KO, so I'll plug that. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. So Big League KO is basically a league format. It is a 8-person round robin, 8-person pool round robin. It is spread out. You play 2 matches a week, spread out over the course of 4 weeks, right? So 7 rounds total. Each set is first to 5, right? So a good way to get more flexible scheduling and longer sets with folks, right? And additionally, if you make it out of your pool, there's a postseason that happens. There's a tournament that goes on for that. It's a good time, right? I was referencing earlier last season, the finals for the upper pool was Magnegro versus Freezy, right? It was a really good set. So I think that might also be on the Fight Rise FGC VODs. So take a look at that if it's interesting to you. If you're interested in a session like this for yourself, right, please join the Fight Rise Discord. Take a look at a section called Level Up. There are knockable threads for all the coaches of Fight Rise. Mine is called Sit Down, Shut Up. You also have Jason Loserpants as well as Satora who do coaching. So if you want coaching, take a look at those channels, look at the pinned messages, and get an idea of how to sign up for the coaching, right? So yeah, I also want to plug the Newbie Fight Club. So Newbie Fight Club is a fighting community focused on helping newer players get into the game. They have lobby nights every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think that they also the Mondays are typically a modern night. So if you play modern and want to check out modern, interested in it, come by on Monday. You don't have to play modern, but it's encouraged. Wednesdays are their normal lobby nights. So if you're new to the game and want to get games with folks, they're also new. And meet some folks and play games with them. Come on Wednesday nights, and then Fridays are usually kind of an open lobby night. I think they have been doing bi-weekly Swiss tournaments, but I think the day for that is going to change as the TO Flash is. I think that their schedule is adjusting a little bit with the semester coming up. So a lot of good events. There also, I think it's once a month on Mondays. They also do a modern only tournament. So if you are a modern warrior and want to prove yourself against other modern warriors, you can join that as well. All the details are in the Discord for Newbie Fight Club. I'm very active in both these Discords, so if you want to talk to me at all or ask me any questions, feel free to message me on either of those. I'm around. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in on your Sunday afternoon, and have a good day.